So, I know one of the other things that's been a source of stress and anxiety has been work. How's anything going at work?
Fairly good, I think. I don't think I've had really much incidents since the last time I saw you, as far as just the normal, every day.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been busy. We don't really have time right now for any of that stuff. I mean, this is a really busy time of the year for us. So, I did have a little bit. Have I told you before about how I feel taken advantage of by one of my coworkers that'll call me on my days off, like first thing in the morning? I'm trying to think of when it was. Last week or the week before. One of the weeks it was a Tuesday, and I got a text message at like 6:30 in the morning. Okay, I know it's last minute, but you want to work for me? Or no, it was, I know it's last minute, but, and then the other, you could tell it was like one of two messages. So I was like, oh, well, I think I'm going to have to work for her. So I got up, started getting ready early on my day off, and then I hear ding ding, another message came through, and I looked at it, and it says, wondering if you could switch days with me. She didn't want me to work for her. She wanted to switch. She wanted me to work Tuesday for her, and then she would work Thursday for me. When back in the day, it was never switch days with me. It was always work for me. But now that she doesn't have money, and it's holiday season, she wanted me to switch days, and I thought to myself, I've never said no to her. I've always gone in, and I thought to myself, because on Tuesdays I volunteer in my daughter's second grade class for junior achievement. It's a state-ran program we do. And I thought to myself, I mean, it wasn't the end of the world. It was an emergency and I had to work. That's life. I would reschedule and do it again. And I thought, no, I'm not doing that. So I said to her, I'm sorry, but I can't flake. I'm George's teacher. At the last minute, I apologized. And I said, are you sick? And she said, oh, yeah, very sick. And I just left it at that. And then I felt guilty all day. I felt good. I really did feel good because it was the first time I had ever said no, but I felt guilty. Like, not like I didn't feel bad for her, but I felt bad like, what if they were busy? What if they were busy and she was worthless? What if she didn't do her job? What if, because that seems to be, a reoccurring theme for her. And I felt guilty. So when I went to work Wednesday, I found out, I didn't ask, I found out that they were swamped, that they were very busy. And then found out later in the day that she was all right, she did her job and everything was fine. And then found out that she really wasn't that sick. And that's what I had said to myself when I had said no. I said, maybe if she wasn't really, really, really sick every single time, then maybe I would. Like, if I had called somebody or messaged somebody and said, I'm really, really sick, can you work for me? Anybody would have, well, I hope, anybody would have dropped everything and said yes, because I have never, out of all the years I've worked there, I've never called in, ever. Even when I was pregnant, I worked until I was 40 weeks. So, but every time she does it, she's really, really sick. And her idea of really, really sick is, I stayed up till 3 a.m. and I was drunk and I had a hangover. Like, to me, that's a self-inflicted wound and that doesn't work. But, so then when I found out, she was fine, and when I had seen her, we worked together on Fridays, she says to me, I hope you didn't feel guilty. I hope you didn't feel bad for saying no to me, but I'm really glad that you didn't work for me. And I said, why is that? She goes, because after I got to work, I was fine. I was just sick in the morning. So that was my way of realizing. So then I thought to myself, I was happy. I was proud of myself. I said no, and that was it. So maybe now, if I do it it'd be easier next time to say no.
You were able to set limits, and it wasn't the end of the world.
No, it was great.
Things worked out fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm sick and tired. It's hard for me because I do stuff for people. We've talked about that. But like, why should I mean, I shouldn't do, I tell my children all the time, don't do stuff for people that don't do stuff for you. You know, there's givers and takers. There's people that take, and then there's people that give, and, you know, everything. I mean, I understand in jobs, you know, unfortunately, that's not how, it doesn't always work like that, but, you know, with friendships and stuff like that, like, don't do stuff for people that don't do stuff for you. And although I like this girl, I mean, I really do like her. I mean, she does things. I mean, she's a caretaker. She's also a home health care worker, and I trust her enough to hire her to care for one of my family members. Like, she does things that I couldn't do, and I trust her. She can't do what I do, but that's why you know, everybody has a job that they're set out for, you know. So I respect her, I love her as a person, but it didn't bother me one bit to say no, and I'm gonna learn. I'm not gonna do stuff for people that don't do stuff for me, and she's never done anything for me, worked for me, unless it was beneficial for her. Once a year I take a Saturday off. Everybody knows it's the first Saturday of June. No matter what the date is, I have a birthday party for both the children, and I don't work. I can't. And she works for me, but it's not like even though she's doing me a favor, I pay her good money. It's a good money day in tips. She probably makes $100 in tips, and then I pay her twice as much as I get paid to work for me. So I didn't feel like switching. I didn't want to give up on my daughter's class that I've committed to. So I said no. It's good.
Fun.
I did.
It sounds like she may have realized too that guilt is what had always previously made you always say, "Okay, I'll work for you."
Right.
Because she said, "Oh, I hope you didn't feel guilty."
Yeah.
And you did say you did feel guilty.
I did, absolutely. But that's not my commitment to cover for her. Before, I always used to. But that's not my commitment. To be honest with you, even if she had wanted to switch days with me, if I hadn't had a prior obligation, I probably would have. And I'd like to sit here and say, oh, I wouldn't have. But I know how I am. I probably would have. I would have done it. Because I'm not a liar. I wouldn't have said, oh, I have something to do. Or I don't want to. It was easy for me to say, I have a prior obligation. And I don't, if I commit to something, you know, it's one day a week. It's on Tuesdays. It's for an hour. Like, I didn't, if it was like something that was important, you know, to me, and I know I had a hard time saying that. Like, if it was something that was important to me, I would have rescheduled, but working for her wasn't important to me. And like I said, I didn't, and I was right. She wasn't sick. Like, boy who cried wolf. I explain that to my kids all the time, you know. Like, she's always really, really sick. And then when I find out that she was up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and she doesn't tell me intentionally, she'll make a comment like, oh, I had to add my phone card. Oh, I was doing my phone card, and they sent me a message saying that my phone was reactivated or something at 3 a.m. And I'll say, oh, they don't instantly go on when you activate it? And she'll go, no, that's the time that I added them. I go, what were you doing up at 3 a.m.? You have to be to work. You know? Like, normal people that have to go to work have to be up by 7 o'clock to get ready for work. Like, she goes to work at 8. She's late every day. She might get up at 7. I don't know what time. But you don't go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, I don't. Like, and then expect people to feel bad because I don't feel good. Like, self-inflicted wounds don't get any sympathy. So it made me, I would have felt like a sucker if I had changed the plans and, you know, rescheduled the thing is I would have been inconveniencing myself if I had rescheduled, because I would have had to reschedule and move around my work schedule to fit in that session, because it's a 5-week session. Like, the state sends you a book, so every week you have a different session that you have to cover. So I would have had to make it up before the next week. So I would have had to move my schedule around. If I had done that and then gone in to find out that she wasn't really sick, you know, that she was either, I didn't ask what the issue was, if she was up drinking, but she said by the time that she had gotten to work, by the time 9 o'clock came around, she felt fine. So I would have been, and to be honest with you, I would have been pissed off. And then I probably would have been irritated, and it would have, it only bothers me if I let it bother me. And it actually felt really good to say no.
It's good.
Yeah.
It goes back to, you've talked before about people getting away with only what you let them.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's one thing if somebody needs help because they're in a tough spot, and another when they're just taking advantage.
Right.
And it's okay to put yourself first and say, I have these prior commitments that are important to me and important to my daughter, and
that's why I don't like to commit to stuff unless I know that I can 100% commit. I don't like to half-ass anything, so.
And that also goes back to you previously saying not wanting to feel like you let people down. Why you don't ask for help a lot of times and things like that.
Yeah, and I figure, granted, that's not expected of me to cover for her, even though I always do it. And she another thing that I thought, we've talked before, just because I wouldn't do something doesn't mean that other people wouldn't. Just because I don't ask for help, and I don't ask people to cover for me, and doesn't mean that other people, she knows. Everybody at work knows that I volunteer on Tuesdays. It's a 5-week course. Not like they know. I've been talking about it. I go to work the following day. I talk about the session. So she knows. So she even knew. See, I'm the kind of person that I don't care how sick I was. If I was on my deathbed and I knew that I could call any employee and they would go in for me because I was the kind of person that didn't call anybody unless I really needed them. Even then, if I knew that the only person that I could call had a prior obligation on that specific day with a child or with anything, I wouldn't do it. That's the kind of person. But just because I wouldn't do that doesn't mean that somebody... So I kind of felt like she almost was taking advantage, trying to. So maybe this a change. Maybe this a change. Maybe this would be the beginning of a change. Because she sort of apologized to me. Like, I'm sorry, I hope you didn't feel bad or guilty. And I said, I did feel guilty, but, so.
Hopefully,
yeah. Start to make some changes.
She might say.
And maybe not just her, maybe everybody else, because I don't ever say no, ever. Like, I don't ever, like I told you, when everything happened where the owner quit and I worked every single day on my day off and gave up all my kids stuff. Like, I gave up stuff to do with my kids at the end of the year. I don't know if that was the final straw, but I'm not doing that anymore. It's not like I'm disappointing anybody. Even if I am, I don't care, to be honest with you, because I'm not going to disappoint the people that mean the most to me. I'm fulfilling my obligation. I do way more than I need to. I do my job. I work every day that I have to. Do everything that has to be done. Like, I'm not obligated. Even though I feel like that, and I used to feel like that, like, that's not my priority. I don't need to do that. So, yeah.
And you made some of those changes at work, and
I have felt better.
You said that you felt better, and things have been okay at work. It hasn't caused.
Things have been good at home. things have been good as far as like me not getting upset. I told you I'm able to relax on my days off and sit there. So maybe because I do take my job and everything so seriously that all that stress and me having this, even though it wasn't like the thought, like this obligation, like a stressful obligation in my head, like maybe that was just too much for me. So,
Wait.
yeah. So it's been good. I mean, besides my health problems or whatever is going on, everything's been good, which I'm glad because if I was stressed on top of this, well, then I want to know, is these health problems or is the stuff that's happening, is it my body manifest, because stress does terrible things to your system. I know that now, after dealing with everything. Like now I know that maybe that's why that I'm not nervous. Maybe I'm not nervous about going to the doctor. I never thought about that because I feel like it's not my fault. It's nothing that I can control. It's nothing that I've done to myself. I'm not stressed. Like I can't say, oh, it's because I'm stressed because and then I'm not going to go to the doctor feeling like a head case. And I know that that's wrong to say that, but, it's nothing that I did wrong. So it's good. Lots of good things. I hope going to the doctor gives me some clarity or at least a few steps in the right direction.
I wish you good luck with your appointment. Hopefully everything is good.
It's a good time of year to be getting on the right track.
I'd like to thank you for coming in and meeting with me and being a part of my project.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.